Hi everyone, welcome to the live stream. So today I'm going to be working on, or tonight I'm going to be working on the Elf Tyrrell car here, the really fragile vintage Aurora slot car. If you haven't seen it yet in a previous video, I'll show you here. It looks really cool. It's got the 6 wheels. That's something I got to figure out too. If you're watching this up front right away, do you know where I can get tires that would actually fit this? Because at the moment, I'm going to have to try and fit other tires and then cut them and hope they're the right size. They're really small. They're not a normal size front wheel, but I'm going to have to figure that out. While I'm here today is to do some more customizing here. I used some super glue, and I'm trying to get the focus on the camera. But over here, there used to be a divot from where I merged the wing together. And see if maybe right there. I've now got it so that the super glue is built up to a little bit of a dome, so I can file this down and hopefully get a flat edge going right across. So, and then I'm going to try and also 2000 grit sandpaper, try and sand the top of the spoiler without it breaking, and try to knock that glue ridge down a little bit further so that when we paint it, it's not as prominent. I don't think it's going to work. I think I'm going to have more problems. I don't think I'm going to have more problems. I think you're still going to see it no matter what I do. So I'm just trying to lessen that effect. But let me adjust the camera here, bring us down a little bit more, and we'll get started. Hopefully it's a little tip down. There we go. All right, stand up. One other thing is I need the tweezers kind of to show this off, but I bought a little velocity stack. Oh, I had one. It's a resin velocity stack engine here, just the velocity tubes. It's a little off kilter. It needs to be sanded just a little bit. Like I said, it's resin, and I'm also gonna have to sand it to paint it. I'm trying to get some chrome sandpaper or chrome paint to do that with. But it's so small, I don't think it's really gonna be reflective anyways. I think that no matter what I do, it's just gonna look kind of silvery. So I'm not too worried about it. But to do that, I'm gonna have to get the tweezers. And the tweezers currently have a peeled Decepticon sticker on them. I found these laying around. I think it's going to fit pretty good onto the one car here. I started another one over here because if you saw the thumbnail, I had the cherry red Datsun Z car, but I scratched it on the plastic here trying to put the windshield in, so I had to go back to the paint shop. I was going to put the sticker on 2 of these, but I figured we could do the one while we're here right now. So this one's all trimmed. I got the backing off of it, so it's ready to stick. And with any luck, I can get this centered. Now, on the show, they had it over here on the red hood. I don't want to do that to the red hood. I kind of like it. So I think on the cars, at least, I'm going to put it on the roof in the center. And then when it comes time for the Tyrrell car, I think right here in front would be the best place for it. I did look at using one of the larger ones over the wing to cover the brake, but the car is supposed to have 2 red pinstripes. I'm thinking the red pinstripe might come up, and that might serve as the edge of the pinstripe maybe, so it might help it blend a little bit better. I think that's what I'm going to try. And to get this off the tweezers here, I'm going to have to line this up and center it here, and wish me luck. The problem is I'll get it there, and it will move 100 times before I get this tweezers off the back of this thing. Oh, this is awful. Sorry you can't see it. My hand's in the way. I'm a little bit off center. Got to bring it over towards the driver's side a little bit. Put in the track so it's actually stable here. Make sure I'm on the live stream. That's looking kind of good. Make sure that it's straight. Oh, no, it's stuck on it. Kind of like that right there. It's hard to see. I got a glare on it. There it is. think that looks pretty straight. Maybe, I don't know, if I come over a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to hate myself for doing this. I'm going to move it and never get back to a good spot. Come on, this is why water slides are so nice. I did get some water slide, but it was a little bit different of a design. All right, see, now it's totally off the car and starting from scratch again. But you don't have to worry about when you stick the thing down. You only got the one shot at it. I'm looking at it. Get the Tyrrell off the sheet here. And I gotta say, that looks pretty good to me. I like that. Now if it just stays there as I do this. All right. Nice. It's always so nerve-wracking doing the little stickers and things. So I kind of like that there. That looks really cool. So I think I'm going to put on the hood of all the cars, like I said. And then on the Tyrrell here, I'm going to do in the front. Now, this is a two-piece. This comes off, I believe. I'm not going to do that because I don't know how it's snapped on. And the car is very brittle, so if I even try to manipulate it, I'm sure it's going to fly off. When I go to paint this, too, I'm going to have to mask off the area with the driver. It'd be a lot easier to mask it off if this piece was out of the way, but like I said, I don't have a shot at that coming off at all. So let's see what I can do here with this engine. So I have the silver engine here. Hey, Brad, how you doing? Thanks for joining. If you want, you can back up in the live stream if you missed it. I just added the Decepticon decal to the top of the breakdown there. It looks pretty cool up there on the roof. I figure that's where we're gonna put them all. But looking at trying to mount this engine here now for the back of the Tyrrell, it's gonna go on like that, but it's a little bit lopsided. Let's see if I can bring this up. It's not totally flat. It's tilted just a little bit. So I'm gonna try and sand the bottom of it down, trying to get it more flat. So I got some 320 here, and there is some flash on it, and that just comes up with my nail. So I haven't cleaned it up at all since it arrived, but just with my nail, I'm going around it and knocking all the extra plastic or resin off around it, trying to square it up a little bit. Now, when you paint resin, I'm going to try and paint this with a chrome mirror reflective paint. You got to sand it too to help it stick, and this is a really tiny, small piece. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to sand this thing. But with that said, I'm going to hit the bottom just a little bit, see if I can true it up for when it sits on the car. And I think when I go to paint it too, I'm actually going to drive a pin through the bottom so I have something to hang on to. And this way I can spray paint it without it blowing away. Because if I just set it down on the table, it will just, the blast from the paint will just blow the piece onto the floor and into oblivion. All right, let's see how this now looks on the car. Over here. So we're on camera good. All right, let's see left and right. Let's see it. It looks just higher a little bit on the I guess the left side of the car. It's kind of like this, just a tiny bit. So I'm going to sand just try and sand the one side a little bit here on the paper, or the sanding sponge that I got. Remember, it's better to go too little than too much, because once you go past the point of no return, then you're screwed. And a little bit more. I don't think I'll probably ever get it truly flat. Then when I add the glue and you put a layer of paint on it, who knows what it's going to actually do, right? If you're sanding resin and you're doing a lot, you want to wear a mask. I'm not going crazy here. I'm just lightly sanding the bottom. But if you're going to be sanding like a whole body, especially with a Dremel, you want to make sure you have a protective breathing on. And wow, that looks good. Let's see if I can get this on camera. It looks pretty straight, and it's hard to get the focus on it. But the left and right sides, they look level to me. What do you think, Brad? They look level? Let me know in the comments. I think that's good there. And I think I'm going to try to move on now to the wing. So as I showed at the beginning of the video, I got a little bit of super glue gel to build up on the bottom to create a bump. So it's before it was divoted in. So now I can sand this ridge, hopefully gently enough on 2000 grit to try and get a nice smooth edge there where I filled in the missing piece of the plastic with super glue gel. And then I'm going to try and do it on the top a little bit too and see if I can knock down the ridge. It's real prominent. And I want to try and lessen the effect as much as I can for when we go to paint it. But I got some 2000 grit right here. Something like that. And any luck, I don't shatter this and ruin it again. Well, that's working really well. It's almost gone. So I'm making sure the sandpaper is over the entire gap, so that's all getting the same amount of sanding and trying to make it level. It's working really well. Wow, it's great. I feel just a little bit of a bump. Has anyone out there tried to repair one of these before, or any other slot cars like this? Any tips and tricks for, you know, being a bondo, basically? See some chats in the window there. I'm going to look over there in a second. Stay concentrated on this for the moment. It's feeling really, really good, really level. You see the glue's coming off. Wow, that's great. Holy cow, that's great. Let's see from the back. I should start buying all these off eBay and repairing them and flipping them. But yeah, man, I know this thing's so fragile. I'm gonna try and sand the bottom of it just a little bit. I got a little bit crazy on the bottom of it because I know you wouldn't see that much of it, but just want to hit it a little bit. Sorry, my humongous bare hand is blocking the view. I think that's good. Let's check out the comments here. Looks level to me. Thank you, Jay Grizzo. Molotow liquid chrome works really well. Oh, Molotov. It's like almost like Molotov. Molotow. All right, I'll look that up. Thank you. I do have this stuff here, and I figured because it's all they had over at Michael's was this Liquitex acrylic ink. It's more silver than chrome, but again, I saw the really cool ones where they paint like an entire surface for like something like a helmet for like cosplay, and it looks great. It looks a lot like the DeLorean here, really reflective. But on a piece this small, I don't know how well it would actually reflect the light. And we see this is it's really close, but this is still silver. It's not really mirrored, but I'm okay with it, unless I want to wait 2 days and do that, which I still might. But I figured I was going to try this stuff. I don't know if anyone's ever used this stuff or heard of it, but maybe I'll look at that on Amazon tonight and see if I can order that, and I'll get that here and try it out, because it would be cool to actually do a whole body and stuff, right? Have have a chrome race team, chrome body of the race team. That may be really cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I'll check that out. Thank you. All right, back to this. I got the back ridge pretty good. It feels mostly flat. I'm gonna hit the bottom a little bit later on, but I'm gonna move on to the big repair where I Frankenstein it together. And I'm just going to do the same thing again. Now, there's nothing supporting it. It's just floating, the part that I glued on. So I'm not going to push down hardly at all. I got my finger here in the back supporting it, and I'm just going to lightly glide this thing over it and try not to have it just fall off in my finger. Now, I want to make sure I'm not sanding the back wing too, because the sandpaper is so large compared to the wing. All right, let's try something like that. So I was worried about upgrading the G Plus chassis. I was looking at the price of springs and the price of the shoes, the price of wheat tires, and I was better off just getting one that has already been upgraded with everything. So I have a whole new chassis that's already been oiled and has all new components ready to go. So I can put this chassis back, or this body back on the original chassis, and just sell it back. Let a collector enjoy it. That looks pretty good on camera, actually. Wow, I'm impressed. Yeah, I can see a little bit of blue. I'm getting some of it, but it's still really prominent. I still think it's kind of cool though that giving this rare body a second chance at enjoyment in life as a custom car. If someone bought the wing from another piece altogether, and it feels a lot better actually. But it's still there. You can still feel it. And if I can feel it, I'm definitely gonna see it when I paint it. Let's check out the comments here again. By the B64, Kentucky Chrome always comes in a rattle can. Yeah, you know, I was actually watching the video because I have a lot of Kentucky Chrome, and it never seems to match that mirrored cap. You know, it just comes out like silver still. Oh, let's get that on camera. And let's see, Brad. Jeff Ryan uses all the time. He's painted a couple of the bodies that came out really good. Oh yeah, I watch Jeff's channel all the time and comment. I'll go back and see what he uses. Actually, that's a great suggestion. Thank you. Which one it was? Which one's the one he uses? The Molotov liquid. I'm even saying that right. I want to say Molotov, but it was a W. So I do have a surprise for the end of the video here. We're not going to do this the whole time. Something came in the mail today also. It's over here in the bubble wrap at the bottom. We're going to check that out really quick here too at the end. 18 minutes. And this is actually coming out really good. It's still pretty prominent down here, but up top it feels better. Yeah, Jeff does a lot of great customizing and build from scratch things. Really cool seeing him cast the parts and make everything. I asked him to make me trailer hitches, but he didn't want to do that. I need trailer hitches for the back of the truck bodies to actually tow the car carriers I got on the shelf. You know, all the carriers have the hitch, but none of the Tyco bodies have the little peg that sticks up for them to bite onto. And I know I could craft something myself, probably even just a toothpick, make it look nice with some paint. But you know, I'm too busy messing with fragile Tyrrell spoilers. Yeah. You see it stops my finger right there. Ugh. You got someone trying to print a Tyrrell. So I got my buddy printing the windows and I think the top of the cab to Motormaster for the Freightliner truck. It looks like Optimus Prime. And I thought about that if he could get one of the 3D prints and then add the tabs on it to actually mount them to the slot car. Do you know what scale he's doing? Are you doing HO scale? Are you doing 143 or 123? Because I think Scale-Trex has a version of it in the larger model. If it wasn't for the Stunticons and the Transformers, I wouldn't even know this F1 car even existed. But it was my favorite character on the Stunticon team. Was this yellow? It was a yellow version of this car, which we're going to try and recreate here. Jeez, it feels really going at it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do any more to it. I don't even think it's not really a ridge. It's where I join the two pieces, and they're like this because I did the best I could to join it. They're not exactly level going across, a little bit of a dip. And I'm trying to sand it, but we're still going to see something there. I'm afraid if I go too far, it's going to come unglued now. I feel it. It's moving pretty good. I'm going to hit it for another minute here, and then I think I'm going to pull out the surprise. Get that going. This shatters my fingers. You all have permission to laugh at me. Wow, it's making a difference. I've been smart if I just sent this to Jeff. Asked him to fix it. Look at that. It doesn't want to stop my finger anymore. It still catches it, but I can actually easily swing over it. It's starting to round itself, I think. It's not so prominent. HO scale. Yeah. Yeah, send me a link to that. I'll take one when you get that built. Imagine actually having a nice, sturdy one. That'd be great. I got to run this thing, too, after I get it done. We can't just build it and never run it, right? So I'm going to run it, and it's going to just shatter. That's why you all watch, right? To see the moments of failure. It's the most entertaining, right? I'm taking a lot off. It's making a dent. And thank you all for spending time with me tonight and watching. If you're not subscribed, can you please take a moment and subscribe? And if you wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up button. Can't tell you how much that actually helps with the YouTube analytics and more people finding the channel and joining. Really appreciate it. All right, I think we're good here. I will do more off camera. That's going to take some more time. But I want to get on to the other thing I have over here. I don't want to lose that. Let me put this away. Hang on. There we go. Move the fragile car. Alrighty. Everyone's favorite dino. I saw it on eBay. It's up there again. You can get your own. This exact one's on there. Or it was. All right. So during my nightly perusing after I'm done editing after 3 hours for the next day, which I gotta do right after this, go on and start looking for things that look cool. This looks cool. Right? Come on, that deserves a thumbs up. Really slick. Oh, I think this is a original US 1 trucking fire truck. Looks good. Should take it off and look. Whoa, it's got a huge gear on it and everything. You know what? Maybe I'm going to run it before I take it apart, because I want to see it at least work once before I destroy it. Let's see here. Oh! That is too cool. Oh, that goes awesome with that police car. Where's that Mustang, the U-turn car? Come on, get both. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Let's see. It had a body that tilted from side to side as it went around the corners. Oh, that's really cool. Jeez. All right. Does anyone think one of these open them before? I see a huge gear here coming off the wheel. I'm afraid it's all just going to explode on me. I'm going to wish I never took it apart. I think we got to do it, though. We got to see what's in there. Wow. Wow, look at that. That's some engineering right there. Pretty cool. Wow. Yeah, I had to get this. This was too cool. This will look really cool going around the track at night with the LED lights on. This thing flashing the red. Oh, it's so nice. Oh. Yeah, it all works. Pretty cool. Let's see, Curtis, I'm going to paint my Tyco 440X2 rims tomorrow. That trick you did with yours. Yes, actually, I was just painting wheels today on the other Stunticon. I was actually, the hardest part is make sure you use the clear coat, and then make sure it dries really good, because I actually had a little bit rub off when I was trying to put the silicone tires back on. I had to respray it again. But I think the next day or two we'll have the next Stunticon video will be coming up. Get the camera straight here. Sorry for the earthquake. There we go. Yeah, that coming up. I was trying to get the glass in it. I ran into a little bit of an issue. I had to repaint it because I scratched it on the mat here. So whenever you paint stuff, put a nice soft cloth down when you try to reassemble things. It will help. But look for that coming up, and we're gonna have some other things coming on. I'm actually using one of the new Viper Scale Racing chassis for that Stunticon too, so that'll be in the video. And I think we're gonna get into the TR3 chassis, because I want to start moving the Thunderjets over to a TR3 chassis. So I thank you all for joining. If you didn't see the beginning of the video, we started adding the decals here to the Stunticons. Let's take him off as a fall. And the Decepticon logo at the top of Breakdown. He came out really nice. And now on the Tyrrell, and this here, we sanded the back down, so I have a flat ridge, so I don't have a divot anymore, but I still have a prominent ridge here. I'm going to continue sanding that, and then I'm going to start the video for this one as soon as I finish up the Z car, and there'll be more up on this. The new chassis coming in, and then masking the guy off, getting all the yellow paint on it, and watching it explode as it goes around the track. But I thank you all for joining me tonight. And give one last check to the comments here. Pulled a 2.1 second lap on our Viper 4x16 track this past Saturday. Wow, that's really fast, man. Congrats. Yeah, so I appreciate everyone for joining and watching tonight. Please give a thumbs up to the live stream if you're watching it now or later. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And stay tuned for the next video. Look forward to comments in this video and the other ones. Ask questions, ask for requests. If you'd like to see anything, I have tons of cars here. If you want to see any of the cars or how to customize something, just let me know. And with that, I'll say goodnight, everyone.